report. On the top of newsroom tonight, I want to give you just a brief sampling of some of the reactions that have poured in after India today managed to send 7 Hurriyat terrorists to jail. This on the back of the Hurriyat truth tapes, which are being investigated by the National Investigation Agency. This story was the talk of the town. Every single MP, minister, opposition leader, BJP leader in Parliament and elsewhere was talking about this mega expose because it's had a mega impact.
You did a great job on your channel, whereby you conclusively established that separatists were doing the bidding of the Pakistani elements as far as funding is concerned. You did a good job. My greetings to your channel and your people. And Government of India is doing its own duty. It has been doing it earlier also.
One, I would congratulate your channel. I mean, it was a very constructive action taken by you and in the national interest. And this facilitated the investigations, and this will also serve as vital evidence against these people who are in receipt of payoffs from Pakistan.
No, I'm sure the investigating agencies take cognizance of all these inputs, including the inputs offered by your channel, and therefore all this actually adds up to the investigation process.
First, I must appreciate for the innovative and investigative journalism done by India today. Probe is conducted by Government of India, or the non-seriousness with which they are continuing, it will lead to unprecedented danger to the country.
जिसने जोखिम लेके ये काम किया, मेरी बहुत बधाई कि देश के पक्ष में उन्होंने कहा.
Your expose has actually given some leads to the NIA and has resulted in their arrest. Obviously, arrest is only the first step. We need conviction. But I want to congratulate you for having actually been of having broken through. Not just reporting a story, but of coming through with something which actually advances the course of justice in our country.
I would like to congratulate you for exposing this kind of mischief, this kind of terror, people who are aiding terror in our country.
I absolutely welcome and appreciate the real stings for which things should be done, and especially when matters pertaining to national security are involved.
Congratulations to your channel for having done so. At least they woke up, the government, to investigate this.
I thanks to India Today और आज तक मैं आप सबको मीडिया को थैंक्स करती हूँ कि बहुत अच्छा काम किया.
This is just a sampling. There's actually a lot more, but this is just playing out a very brief sense of what happened in Parliament today. I want to focus on explaining to you what happened at the NIA court today. All 7 of these Hurriyat terrorists were presented before the NIA special judge. The judge has sent them to 10 days of NIA remand, where they'll be questioned about their links with Pakistani proxies, also the links of the likes of Yasin Malik, Mirwais Farooq, Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, and how they were receiving funds from Pakistan. Because remember, the NIA is working on 2 things. You've got these middle-level leaders in the net now. That by itself is historic and unprecedented, but now the NIA firmly has the 3 big Hurriyat guns in its radar, and the NIA is confident they will take them down. Here's the day's big story.
Villains of the Kashmir Valley. 7 Pakistani agents operating in the garb of Kashmiri separatist. Exposed by India Today. Now their game is up.
This is the bus of the 7 Hurriyat terrorists who have just left the CBI office and have a hearing at Patiala House Court today. As you can see, 7 Hurriyat leaders who have all been accused of terror funding, taking money from Pakistan.
The court sent the accused to NIA custody for 10 days, despite vehement protest by the Separatist Council.
मैंने रिमांड डिनाई किया कि इनको पुलिस रिमांड नहीं मिलना चाहिए, क्योंकि जो भी तफ्तीश इनको करनी थी ये NIA की कस्टडी में थे. जो भी इनको इनसे बरामद करना था, रिकवर करना था, इन्होंने करा है.
NIA has hinted that the Hurriyat top brass, including Pakistan sympathizer Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, may be next. It has prepared a dossier scrutinizing asset details of separatists.
There seems to be enough evidence to nail them down, sir. What sort of evidence?
That's why we have arrested them.
Sir, do you also feel that it is time that you will be summoning the big fish, Saeed Ali Shah Gilani, Meerwais?
Let us see at an appropriate time.
The logistics of anything, any what you call militant outfit or an individual are squeezed, it makes an effect.
Sources have informed India Today that people connected to Mirwais Umar Farooq, chief of a Hurriyat faction known as a moderate phase, are under scanner. His two uncles and personal assistant have already been questioned. The brother of Asiya Andrabi, chief of the Duktran-e-Millat and known Pakistan sympathizer, was summoned to Delhi and grilled by the NIA. Another slap on Hurriyat's face? Their call for a shutdown to protest the arrest completely ignored by the people of Kashmir. The political class has hailed India Today's contribution to the fight against anti-national elements.
आपने जो स्टिंग किया था वो सही साबित हो गया एक तरह से, क्योंकि केस भी भरी है, अभी गिरफ्तारी भी हुई है.
One, I would congratulate your channel. I mean, it was a very constructive action taken by you and in the national interest.
Congratulations to your channel for having done so. At least they woke up, the government, to investigate this.
But some are still evasive. The insidious web laid out by Hurriyat and its affiliates for years in Kashmir is now finally unraveling. And Pakistani agents in the valley may have nowhere to hide. With Kamaljeet Sandhu, Anusha Soni and Ashutosh Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
I've got breaking news coming in. There was high drama at the Srinagar airport. This is information India Today has been able to exclusively access by speaking to people in the highest echelons of the government. Remember, the government has so far been trying to suggest that this was a very peaceful, swift operation. Apparently, on the ground it wasn't. Mehbooba Mufti had very serious reservations. In fact, she didn't want these 7 Hurriyat terrorists to be taken away to Delhi. She felt that the documents weren't adequate. Massive, major drama. This story breaking only on India Today. I want to go across now to 2 of my senior colleagues. Sudhi Ranjan Sen joining us from right outside Parliament. With us also is Meetu Jain, Shirzin, Srinagar. Sudhi Ranjan, to you first. Huge drama. This is a big inside story, a scoop of sorts. Jammu and Kashmir police apparently didn't want these 7 terrorists to be brought to Delhi. Give our viewers a blow-by-blow account of what happened.
Well, Rahul, to begin with, I mean, with the 6 Hurriyat separatist leaders in custody, the priority of the NIA was to whisk them away, was to take them away from Srinagar and get them to Delhi. The reason is there was apprehension that there would be an unrest as soon as the news of their arrest is is known. So as the NIA is running against time, you have the Jammu and Kashmir police, a very unlikely hurdle, one enforcement agency coming up as a hurdle against another. What we are being told by our sources is that very clearly the Jammu Kashmir police told the NIA that they will not be able to take the 6 suspected Hurriyat leaders to Delhi. And they also wanted that paperwork needs to be completed before they are allowed to board the plane. Now, mind you, as long as you keep them on ground in Srinagar, the possibility of a law and order situation, of an unrest spreading is very, very high. The reason why this is happening is what sources are telling us is among the 6 who were being brought from Srinagar, very many, and most likely including the son-in-law of Saeed Ali Shah Gilani, were being used or is being used by the state government for back-channel talks to get a situation, to get a handle on the situation, to get a handle on the unrest that is there. So in a way, the state government was in talks. It was a back-channel kind of a reaching out to the separatists that the state government was doing, and they did not want the 6 leaders to reach Delhi. So they sent not only the police, but senior police officials were dispatched, and it was kind of a high drama because the aircraft waiting cannot enter the plane till the papers are made. Finally, the entire issue is escalated to the Ministry of Home Affairs, from where there is a clear message that is sent down to Jammu and Kashmir government saying that not only will we bring these 6 people back, but if you resist us, we will also have to get the police officer, book the police officers who are responsible for it. And that is how the NIA finally managed to get the 6 suspects to Delhi in 2 separate aircrafts at 2 separate times.
What an incredible story, because I just want to show you what the BJP has been saying on record. I just want to play out one small portion of what Ram Madhav told me. We'll have a full interview coming up later in the show, but just one brief reaction from my interview on Aaj Tak, where I specifically asked him whether the PDP is on board. Let's listen to BJP points person for Jammu and Kashmir, Ram Madhav.
ऐसे एक प्रकार के जो कार्रवाइयां होती है उसमें तो राज्य पुलिस का सहयोग भी तो अनिवार्यता से उसकी भी जरूरत होती है. मुझे जहां तक जानकारी है राज्य सरकार को विषय की जानकारी देकर ही पूरा कार्रवाई की गई है.
Jain, this is quite incredible. High drama at the airport. You've been in Srinagar all day. What's been the impact on the ground of these arrests? Is there any unease, unhappiness, or is just life as normal?
Well, it is more or less life as normal. But the important thing, Rahul, is that remember where the Hurriyat is concerned, they really swear by social media, and this time around it's actually the social media that has let the Hurriyat conference down, and they've been lambasted big time on social media. A lot of people are questioning the Hurriyat conference and they call for a hartal. Just because it is Gilani's son-in-law, should we be calling for a hartal? The fact that the son-in-law and the others were hand in glove with the Pakistanis, they could do anything for money, for anyone, anything. So that is a big issue, but the bigger trouble really for the Hurriyat is now going to be coming in the days to come. Who is going to be heading the Hurriyat conference? The little that is left of it, especially the Tehreek-e-Hurriyat, that is SAS Gilani faction. Is it going to be the family? Because there is one more contender to the throne. I mean, as if the troubles of the Hurriyat weren't good enough, I mean, there is one more contender to the throne, and that is this terrorist called Masrat Alam. Though we do understand that he has been behind bars for a very long time on charges of sedition. Masrat Alam is now planning to claim throne to the Tehreek-e-Hurriyat. So that's one thing. And of course, there's going to be a lot more infighting, not just within Gilani and the Mirwais various factions of the Hurriyat, but within the Gilani family itself. So all around trouble for the Hurriyat faction and various factions of the Hurriyat and various members of the Hurriyat family.
So it's a huge implosion of sorts in the national investigation in the Hurriyat because of this action by the NIA. Sudhiranjan Sen for that news break. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Meetu, for joining us from Srinagar. I want to show you a report that Meetu and our other colleague in Srinagar, Ashutosh Mishra, filed on how life was just the way it ordinarily is in Srinagar. Remember, one of the big reasons why for years now governments have been apprehensive of acting against the Hurriyat is because there was this apprehension that Srinagar would burn, that Kashmir would be in flames, that the situation would be uncontrollable. Now, this is the single biggest act against the Hurriyat by any government, any agency ever. There was a big hartal called, Gilani's son-in-law has been jailed. There were apprehensions in the intelligence agencies, in the police, that there would be trouble. On the ground, there wasn't, because there's a sense, even amongst people in Kashmir, that what these terrorists have done is wrong, and if they are taking money from Pakistan to burn Kashmir, they need to pay for it. Ashutosh Mishra and Meetu Jain filed this story.
It's business as usual in downtown Srinagar. Traffic moves along its usual pace while people are out in droves. Looking at these images, you would not believe that today was the day that Hurriyat had issued a valley-wide Bandh call.
After India Today expose Operation Hurriyat truth tapes led to arrest of 7 separatist leaders in Srinagar by the National Investigative Agency, the rattled Hurriyat has called shutdown in Srinagar. Now there's a partial effect in many areas including downtown and this Dal Gate. However, the life continue to go smoothly in Srinagar. This seems that how these separatists have lost perception here in Srinagar, in the valley. Remember the action that was taken by NIA.
Rattled by India Today's impactful expose that laid bare the nexus between terrorists from Pakistan and separatists, the Hurriyat had called for a shutdown. But pictures speak louder than the words of paper tigers.
Lukewarm response to the Bandh call. At some places, shops are completely open. And at some places it's partially open, but at all the places the traffic is playing normal.
There was no support for the Hurriyat online either. In a state that boasts of 28% internet usage, no outpouring of support was visible for the Hurriyat hawks.
A social media thumbs down for the Hurriyat conference is especially important in the valley, where the smartphone has replaced a gun and created a new breed of cyber jihadis. It's on this cyber platform that the Hurriyat conference stands exposed for what it is.
The people of Srinagar have defied a call issued by those who claim to speak for them. The people of Kashmir's capital appear to have shut out the Pakistan proxies. With Ashutosh Mishra and Meetu Jain in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
So has the time come for the Hurriyat conference to be banned? Is that then the next logical step? Joining us on the showdown tonight, we've got Dr. Sambit Patra, spokesperson of the BJP, squaring off against him, Dr. Ajay Kumar of the Congress party, Amit Kaul. He's a Kashmiri Pandit. The story is very personal for him because Bitta Karate was the one who killed his family members in front of his eyes when he was much younger. Shabnam Lone is an activist and lawyer. Dr. Patra, welcome. Is this where the government is heading next? Do you believe there is adequate material evidence at hand for the Hurriyat itself to be banned?
I would mince no words, Rahul. First, beginning by congratulating you and your channel, because I was the person who was in the first debate in your channel. I remember as to how the sting operation had come forth. And then also we all had promised that this case would see a logical conclusion, and gradually we are moving towards logical conclusion. But what is the logical conclusion? Yes, the question of your question, in fact, that should Hurriyat conference and the likes of it should be banned, I believe that is the logical conclusion. And I see with a sound legal footing, gradually the probe agency is moving towards that. What is the aim of this government? The aim of this government is to restore peace in Kashmir.
No, so let's not be ambiguous. Logical conclusion can mean different things to different people. If I were to ask you directly, do you believe Dr. Patra, as the spokesperson of the BJP, the time has come for the Hurriyat conference to be banned?
Yes, I believe Hurriyat conference, with the kind of activity that it has been indulging itself in, the time, I believe, was quite ripe before as well, and today also, that the Hurriyat conference should be brought under the acts, and by the rule book action should be taken against them.
This is the first time we've seen BJP spokesperson officially come on record and say the time has come on the back of this big India Today expose for the Hurriyat conference to be banned. Dr. Ajay Kumar, you come from a security background yourself, you've been in the police. Will your party, which has been rather soft on the Hurriyat for decades, support the government if it were to move in the direction of banning the Hurriyat conference?
Look, Rahul, the first thing I want to say is, it's important, and with a, you're a very well-read anchor, and you're aware that in the UPA too, in 2011, Mr. R.K. Singh, who is a member of parliament of the Bharatiya Janata Party, was the Home Secretary, and the steps taken against the Hurriyat in terms of Hawala transaction case registration happened in 2011. But according to Sambit ji and the BJP, the history started only in 2014, so obviously they would not like to take any credit. But let them take credit for at least Mr. R.K. Singh was the Home Secretary then at the UPA too, and they took steps. The second point is a fantastic job by India Today, and really hats off, because it was a dangerous job also. It is just not a simple sting. But to do it in an environment like Srinagar, to do it really, it's been a wonderful outcome. The third part is, based on the evidence and the inputs that the Hurriyat was taking money from cross-border, from people and agencies whose interests are inimical to India's security, the logical step is to ban them based on the evidence available. So,
no, but Ajay Kumar, I appreciate the fact that as the official spokesperson of the Congress party, you're saying that the logical step is for the Hurriyat to ban, but I must ask you, sir, in 2011, when there were arrests outside the Pakistan High Commission, bagmen who were taking money to Shabbir Shah were arrested. At that time, if the UPA had the same conviction, the Hurriyat could have been banned 6 years ago. You are now supporting what the Modi government is doing. You yourself, when you had the opportunity, you let it get away. You squandered that golden opportunity.
No, so Rahul, I have a very, very divergent view on what you're saying right now, because if you remember you are as much aware as I am, there was an NIA person and an investigator who said that there was a total freedom from the UPA 1 and 2. You need to understand that the UPA 1 or 2 gave total freedom to his officers. The NIA person, who has been quoted in various print and electronic media, has said that the evidence has to be gathered by the NIA. So as a rule of law, if you take in, look, arresting is an easy step. Even Sambit will agree with me that if you arrest and ban them and then it is overturned because of lack of evidence, it leaves a lot of egg on the face of the government.
Dr. Patra, do you agree that the evidence now on the back of this India Today expose is stronger than the evidence earlier? He's saying that the Congress didn't stop the investigation agencies from arresting these leaders or didn't want the Hurriyat not to be banned. Do you agree?
See, there are two issues on this. First, the technicality and the narrative. As far as the technicality is concerned, in my first submission I mentioned that one step has to be legally sound step. Naturally, only then it would stand the scrutiny by the judicial process of this country, and that's the reason as to why we are having the kind of probe that we are seeing today, which is a watertight, foolproof kind of probe. Secondly, and very importantly, where do we falter? It is not a story about NIA or the technicalities involved in the probing. The story is which government wanted to have what kind of narrative vis-a-vis the separatist and the Hurriyat. As far as the UPA is concerned, the talk of the town was, which we knew, see, as far as money coming from Pakistan through Hawala routes, funding the kind of unpeaceful atmosphere that we have in Kashmir today is concerned, because of Hurriyat, is one of the most ill-kept secrets.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, Dr. Ajay Kumar, you've been a police officer and a very fine police officer at that. So I'm very surprised that you say it, because what we've captured on camera has been known in security establishment and circles for years now, that the Hurriyat is funded by Pakistan. You're saying, and you're an officer, so I say this, even though this is my own investigation, I still say that catching a terrorist right outside the Pakistan High Commission who's been given money by an official from the Pakistani High Commission in Delhi, he's saying he's taking it back to Shabbir Shah. From a purely evidentiary perspective, that evidence is more compelling than a video confession. And you know this because you've led investigations yourself. So don't say that the evidence now is stronger. The evidence earlier, sir, was arguably stronger than the evidence initially here.
So Rahul, if you can indulge me for a minute. I have had the fortune of working with Mr. R.K. Singh. You know, he was a Bihar cadre IAS officer, and he is one of the finest Home Secretary, and right now happens to be the Bharatiya Janata Party Member of Parliament from Ara. So when he was at the helm, and I definitely believe that, you know, that there was nothing in terms of any kind of soft peddling on this issue. So it has to be bipartisan. For me to step back in 2011 and say that was there an adequate evidence and we falter on that evidence without even knowing what was the evidence would be inappropriate.
No.
So let me put it this way, that the perspective is there is the government step, and I'm telling you the government has to take it into a logical conclusion.
No, you're not answering my question. You're running in circles. Dr. Kumar, as a police officer, as they say, you're dodging my bullet.
I'm not dodging.
You know better than anyone else that the evidence at that time, purely from an evidentiary perspective in court, was stronger. You know, video evidence at best is corroborative. This is the biggest investigation in TV history. That's absolutely true, but I'm not delusional. I can see evidence for what it is. Catching a man outside the Pakistan High Commission, taking money from a Pakistani official, he's saying this money is for Shabir Shah. That evidence, sir, is stronger. This could have been done 6 years ago. Amit Kaul, you've suffered at the hands of the likes of Bitta Karate. Are you thankful that finally the wheels of justice, 2 decades late, but are moving nonetheless?
Rahul, massive impact of the massive investigation, and I would congratulate you, your team, NIA and the Government of India for at least taking it to the right conclusion, and I hope the conviction will happen soon. And in terms of, as we know, and as I was hearing the discussion that was going on, see, we all know that the funding is coming, the source of funding is coming, so it's nothing new fact. Everybody, be it 6 years or 8 years, even so, the tight grip has to be taken, and we step not only to on this, the big fishes like Gilanis, Mirwais Omar, Yasin Malik. The time has come that the government India, the right step that they have taken, the conclusion will be then when we move ahead towards that.
Oh, absolutely. Shabnam Lone, will you support?
It will be like too little and
will
too
you
late.
support the government when it moves to ban the Hurriyat conference? Or will voices like yours stand in support of the Hurriyat? Because the evidence laid out by India today is so compelling that nobody, not even the Congress that has been, having a very different perspective on the Hurriyat, is able to say today that the Hurriyat should not be banned. Will you also join that chorus, Shabnam Lone, and say ban these terrorists and ban them now?
Well, first of all, Rahul, it is a momentous moment for you and the channel. It's your moment of absolute crowning glory as far as your journalistic career is supposed to be. So congratulations for a great
I must tell you, I hope to send many more people to jail. I hope this is not our crowning glory. I hope, really, seriously, I hope this is not the moment of crowning glory. I still have some years ahead of me, and I hope to send many more people to jail, ma'am. I must tell you that.
The coronation has just begun.
Well, I wish you well.
Well done, Rahul.
So let me state it like this. What you rightly pointed out when we were talking on Aaj Tak, this is a story that has been known. I think many heads need to roll. When you were talking about land being given to a particular person A by the then government, you omitted one thing. Why are you just focusing on the land having been given to a person A? The government which gifted the land, they should be equally in the dock, because that is what they have done. Even they have helped. If it was a terror-related case, they have helped in that. So these investigations have to be very fair, have to be very just. Let the wheels of justice now start. If they had grinded to a halt, now it is the time. I again reiterate that if any Hurriyat leader has assets unknown to his source of income, let the wheels
I think
of
that's
justice
fair. I think that's fair, because we don't need to run a mob lynching. This is not a mob lynching. This is not street justice. Let the wheels of justice move at their own speed. I think in 68 days, between the time India Today broke this investigation, the NIA has already arrested 7 people, 250 officials. The DG himself, 2 IGs, 2 SPs are working on this case night and day. 250 officials is a lot for a small investigation agency like the NIA. Officers and that thorough professionals do their job. Let them come up with what they believe is compelling evidence, and in their own time let them arrest Yasin Malik, Syed Ali Shah Gilani and Mirwais Farooq when they think they have evidence that can stand in a court of law. I think that's the way to move. Today has been able to exclusively access a dossier put together by the National Investigation Agency, where for the first time 48 stone pelters have been identified. Their exact locations have been given out, how they operate revealed in far greater detail than ever before. Also, their linkages with Pakistan and who's funding them. We're calling this the JK-48 gang. Here's the story.
Yasir Ahmad, Khurshid Ahmad, Abdul Rashid, Jahangir Bhatt, Jan Muhammad, These are among the more than 5,000 names and numbers tracked by the NIA in the Kashmir Valley to trace the ringleaders of stone pelters. After painstakingly trawling through thousands of numbers, the NIA made a grid of numbers that were present in each area of stone pelting. Whether Pulwama or Kulgam, Anantnag or Tral, Srinagar or Avantipura. 48 telephone numbers were identified as being present in the area before and during the stone pelting. The numbers were then given to mobile service providers and identities ascertained.
This dossier accessed exclusively by India Today has names of 48 ringleaders of stone pelters. The NIA claims they've carried out a scientific investigation. These stone pelters were present at virtually every major stone pelting at security forces in the Kashmir Valley. Their mobile phones, their Facebook profiles, they've all been triangulated and now they will be called for questioning. The NIA is confident stone pelting will come to an end once these ringleaders are behind bars.
NIA investigators identified 48 ringleaders. 22 of 48 are hardcore organizers of stone pelters. 22 ringleaders in touch with WhatsApp groups managed in Pakistan. Jammu and Kashmir police have taken some suspects in custody. NIA to summon ringleaders for questioning. India Today has accessed the top secret dossier of the NIA on stone pelters. The dossier exposes the link between professional ringleaders of stone pelters and their handlers in the Hurriyat. So scientific is the investigation that NIA has triangulated the presence of the mobile numbers in the area where anti-terrorist operations were underway. The NIA probe also reveals that some of these individuals took pictures with terrorists and posted them on social media. Their presence was neither a coincidence nor restricted to a single event. The probe report marks their presence at virtually every stone pelting event on multiple occasions. The JK-48 is the core group of stone pelters and some of them have now gone underground. The security forces are confident they will be nabbed and stone pelting will reduce. With Jitendra Bahadur Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
We want to go across now, live and exclusive on India Today, to senior BJP leader, party general secretary and the key points person for the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Ram Madhav is joining us live on India Today. Ram Madhav ji, welcome to India Today. You know, it's been quite incredible to see the speed at which the NIA has proceeded on investigating the Hurriyat truth tapes. Between the time India Today put out this story and these arrests, it took only 68 days. I remember you coming on our show soon after we broke the story and said that there will be action. Finally, we have seen the kind of action that you did speak about.
Yes, NIA has very diligently gone into the details of the financial bunglings of these people, and they have gathered enough evidence. Only after that they have taken this recourse to the whatever legal action needs to be taken. They have taken recourse to that.
Tell me, what's the message that's being sent out? Because so far all governments have been wary of acting against the Hurriyat leadership. We saw in 2011 when there were arrests right outside the Pakistan High Commission. At that time too, there was compelling evidence against Shabir Shah and others in the Hurriyat. However, this wasn't taken to its logical conclusion. You're already seeing 7 Hurriyat terrorists being arrested. We're told that others could follow next. What's the political, is there a political message in what's happening, Mr. Ram Madhav?
Look, Rahul, in Kashmir Valley, the agitation against the security forces, which sometimes turns into agitation against India and all, is a very small part of it is probably spontaneous, but largely it is sponsored by elements like these. They get money through illegal routes from across the border. Sometimes directly they get the money through trade across the border. Sometimes they get it through Hawala routes from Delhi and other places. They are the ones who plan it. They are the ones who disburse the money. They are the anti-India activity in the valley. And also they are the ones who hoard a large part of this money for their own personal benefits. They are actually making the people, innocent young people of the valley, in a way, the people are becoming guinea pigs in this this dastardly game that these people are playing. And once we gathered all the required evidence, it is incumbent upon the agency to take whatever natural action that is required to be taken. So political message is loud and clear. Law will be asked to take its course. It will not be stopped. Agencies will not be pressurized into not acting or anything. They will, I can assure you, they will not do anything that is against the law. They will not use it to punish anybody, in a wrong way. But if there is some wrong happening in the valley, they will not spare people.
Mr. Ram Madhav, this is the first time the Hurriyat leadership has been taken into arrest in this fashion on the kind of charges that were laid out after this Big India Today expose. The Hurriyat today called a big band. They wanted the valley to shut down. We've got multiple reporters across Srinagar and elsewhere, and they're reporting that in the heart of Srinagar at places there have been traffic jams, shops are open, life continues as usual. People in Srinagar giving a big thumbs down in most parts to this Hurriyat Bandh, really showing the lack of popular support. For the longest time it's been made to seem as if anyone were to touch the Hurriyat conference, Srinagar and Kashmir would burn. On the day after these arrests, life is virtually normal in Srinagar.
One of the most dubious Bandh calls given by Hurriyat leadership is today's Bandh call. You have seen in the recent past, they have stopped giving Hartal and Bandh calls because they have seen that increasingly people do not appreciate, people do not support. But this time, apparently, some biggies are involved, somebody's son-in-law is involved, somebody's assistant is involved. So these Hurriyat leaders, when their own kith and kin have become accused before the law and they were arrested, suddenly they found virtue in calling for Hartal again. So people of the valley have seen through this dubious game of the leaders. But having said it, you are right. In Srinagar and the surroundings, there is no big impact of the Bandh, but there is still, this fear psychosis in the minds of the people elsewhere. In some places, that fear is still acting on the minds of the people. We shall make sure that people will no longer be afraid of these kinds of elements. Legal means of fighting for the rights of the people are always open to each and every citizen of Jammu and Kashmir and citizen of India. But these illegal anti-national activities shall not be tolerated. We assure the people that we will take this whatever activity we have undertaken to tackle this anti-national activity, it will be taken forward. People should have more confidence.
We're seeing the NIA say that they will issue summons next to Syed Ali Shah Gilani, to Yasin Malik, to Mirwaiz Omar Farooq. Will they be arrested? Like these 7 Hurriyat terrorists have been arrested, will the kingpins be arrested as well? Or are they too big to touch? Will the government have the courage to allow the NIA to go and nab the biggest terrorists of the Kashmir Valley, those who've been burning Kashmir for decades now?
No comments from my side, Rahul, except to say that we are not going on any vendetta spree. It's not any vengeful activity that we are undertaking. Law is expected to take its course. Law must take its course. If the investigative machinery's arms, the legal arms of our investigating agencies are so long as to reach London to pursue cases against people in financial bunglings, how can they be lenient about people indulging in anti-national activities in our own country, sitting in Srinagar, sitting in other places? They will be pursued through due legal course. I'm not making any statements of, I'm not chest thumping and all, I'm not doing. But yes, there's an act called UAPA Act passed during the last UPA regime. It will be implemented in letter and spirit.
Welcome back. You're with us on the newsroom. Aaj Tak 11. That's the number of people who've been sent to jail by India Today reporters in just the last 1 week. 7 Hurriyat terrorists in the custody of the NIA. 1 general manager arrested in Madhya Pradesh, the one who was fixing onion auctions. Today, 3 more big arrests by the Economic Offences Wing of the Madhya Pradesh Police following India Today's expose Farmgate 2.0 Operation Onion.
An incisive India Today investigation exposing the multi-layered rigging of onion auctions in Madhya Pradesh. Caught on camera orchestrating the bidding process was the general manager of the MP Civil Supplies Corporation, SK Soni, striking a deal to undersell train loads of onions for fat bribes. 1 kilo of onions for 2 rupees 10 paise to be exact.
Sir, बिना बोली के अगर कोई हो पाए तो गाइड करिए।
अरे ये बोली मैनेज कर देंगे ना, और कोई तो करो ना। शाहजहांपुर में मैनेज करा सकता हूँ, बक्सी से, सुजालपुर से करवा दीजिए। सुजालपुर का बेटर है क्या? नजर भी नहीं है लोगों की।
The man caught on camera, Shrikant Soni, was arrested soon after India Today aired the expose. The police made more arrests on Tuesday. The Economic Offences Wing taking into custody 3 people from Shahjahanpur and Ujjain for their involvement in the scam. India Today's expose is now the basis of a statewide crackdown.
सर, कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? तो आप पर करप्शन के चार्जेस हैं।
मैं आपको बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं। आपने तहकीकात की। मामला एक गड़बड़ का प्रकाश में आया। जैसे ही प्रकाश में आया, आधी रात को अधिकारी सस्पेंड हुआ, सवेरे FIR हुई।
Despite the arrest of SK Soni and 3 others, the bug doesn't stop there. Will the Madhya Pradesh government ensure that the systemic rot in onion auctions be wiped out for good? With Hemendra Sharma in Bhopal, Bureau Report, India Today.
Aaj Tak 11. In the film, Nana Patekar had 56. That's also a film. This is real life. Let's see where we can take this tally. We're at it. Of that, you can be certain. Crooks, beware. India Today's investigation team is coming for you. This is where I wrap up the newsroom tonight. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. with another action-packed edition of the newsroom. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.